This is the part 2 beginner's guide of Vesteria. Now, before I start, I want to give a quick warning that this is going to take a lot longer to get to level 49 than it took to get to level 30. Just a quick warning. Now, also before I begin the video, if you find this video helpful, please like and subscribe because it will really help the channel, and I also am planning on making more Vesteria videos. So, I'm just going to jump right into it. So, after part 1, after you have chosen your subclass, you want to go to Port Fidelio, and you want to find this dock that I'm going to right now. Once you get to this dock, you will be able to buy a ticket. This ticket will allow you to take a boat ride over to Forsaken Isles. Forsaken Isles is the perfect place to grind XP. Not only that, but it will also give you a lot of money. If you don't have enough money for the ticket, which is 100 silver by the way, then I recommend going back to the Spider Queen raid, which I mentioned in the part 1 beginner's guide. I recommend going back there to get more money to get on this boat. But once you get enough money, just go ahead, buy a ticket, and then once the boat arrives, just hop on the boat and wait. After around 5 minutes, you'll be teleported to aboard the Wayfarer. Now, this is basically just a boat ride, so you're going to be waiting some more. This boat ride will usually take like around 10 minutes long. And then after that 10 minutes, you will be teleported to the Forsaken Isles. And this is where you'll be grinding from level 30 to level 40. Also, quick warning, do not jump off the boat. If you jump off the boat and fall into the ocean, you will be teleported to Shipwreck Bottom and you will have to pay for another ticket. I've done this mistake before. Don't do it. Alright, so real quick, before we arrive at the Forsaken Isles, I want to explain it real quick. So there are two different enemies. There is the Moglo and there is the Mogloko. And there's also a boss, which I will explain later. Now, these two enemies will actually drop two pretty good hats that hunters can wear. The Moglo will, of course, drop the Moglo mask, and the Mogloko will, of course, drop the Mogloko mask. Now, the Moglo mask will give you plus 30 strength, and the Mogloko mask will give you plus 30 dexterity. But they will also subtract every other stat point, so that is the only downside to these two hats. And the boss that I mentioned before is called the Mokotua. It spawns after 4 totems have dropped on the map, right in the middle of the, I guess, grinding area. I don't know what else to call it. So the Mokotua will spawn once the server has reached 2,000 kills on Moglos or Moglokos. And the Mokotua is a pretty deadly boss. So I'm going to try to explain the best I can all the different attacks the Mokotua does and how to avoid them. The first attack by the Mokotua is the green shockwave. This can be easily avoided just by not getting too close. There's also the rain. This can also be easily avoided just by moving. If you're moving, then you'll be fine. Do not stand still while the rain is active. Then there's the red lightning. Be careful for this one because this one can sometimes one-shot you. I've had that happen to me before, so just simply run away whenever the lightning is active. Then there is the purple laser on top. Now, if this thing targets you, it's kind of hard to avoid. Just run as fast as you can to avoid this thing. If it targets you and you have low health, then you're most likely going to die. You can't really do anything about it, but just try your best whenever it does target you to run away as fast as you can. Now, when waiting for the Mokotua to spawn, you can either, run around killing Moglos or Moglokos, or you can just find this AFK spot I'm in right now and just wait for it to spawn. This is what I do most of the time because I don't want to spend, like 2 hours killing Moglos and Moglokos. That's just boring and I don't want to do that. So I usually just chill in this AFK spot, and then when it spawns, I run over and start fighting it. And when you kill the Mokotua, you'll most likely level up at least once. You may level up 2 or 3 times. The amount of XP you get from this boss is kind of insane. Now, you can grind however you want, but keep repeating until you get to level 40, because level 40 is when we're going to be moving on to something different. Also, keep in mind that once you get to level 33, you're able to buy new armor in the shop that's here in the Forsaken Isles. There is new armor that you can buy once you get to level 33. Now, you should be able to get enough money by killing the Mokotua. The Mokotua will drop a lot of money when killed. So, by the time you get to level 33, you should have enough money to buy a set of armor. And then once you get to level 35, you're now able to use new weapons that are found in the Forsaken Isles. Now they are kind of rare to get. They drop from the Mokotua. I'll go over what they are later. The best way to get them at this level is to buy them from higher levels, because the drop chance is really rare if you're a low level. Just go ahead and buy them from higher levels for maybe like 300 silver to 500 silver, somewhere around there. It's not that expensive, but that is the best way to get those weapons at level 35. So I'm going to show a picture of every weapon that drops from the Mokotua real quick. The first one is the Tuabo, which are used by hunters, most likely used by the ranger subclass. Also, keep in mind that all of these weapons are going to have their own unique ability that gives you a buff, so it's pretty cool. Then there's the Tua shield, which is used by knights only. And there's the Mako Maul, which are used by paladins only. And there's the Tua staff, which are used by any mage. And there's the Mako club, which is used by any warrior. It's also the weapon I'm using right now. And then there's the Mako dagger, which are used by any hunter. Continue grinding in the Forsaken Isles until you reach level 40. Now, once you get to level 40, you have to leave the Forsaken Isles. But there is a problem. You cannot use a rune in the Forsaken Isles. So, in order to leave the Forsaken Isles, you have to wait for the boat to arrive. I know, it's kind of annoying, but it is what it is. So, the next place you're going to go is the Whispering Dunes. That is the next place you're going to grind. Now, first, you want to go to Scallop Shores. I'm going to show you how to get to the Whispering Dunes. It's right next to the entrance to Port Fidelio, and just follow where I go if you want to find the Whispering Dunes. Now, before you can enter the Whispering Dunes, you have to go through the Gauntlet. Now, to run through the Gauntlet, you need a party of at least 2 people, and I recommend having either a high-level player or a big party, because the Gauntlet can be difficult if you are a low level. It can be very difficult. These bandits and bandit skirmishers, they are the enemies in the Gauntlet. They deal a lot of damage. Just a quick warning. And when I was running the Gauntlet on my level 40 account, I forgot to record. So here's a sped up recording of me running through the Gauntlet on my max level Paladin. Enjoy. So once you defeat the Gauntlet, just wait a minute or two, then you will be teleported to the Hunter-occupied Gauntlet. This is a safe area. There's a shop here where you can buy new items. Honestly, I don't recommend buying any of the weapons. The armor is good though. You can buy the armor, but don't buy any of the weapons. They are not worth it. So real quick, before we go into the Whispering Dunes, I'm going to go over every enemy that is in the Whispering Dunes. And the first enemy I want to go over in the Whispering Dunes is the Stingtail. Now this is the easiest enemy in the Whispering Dunes to kill, and this enemy will drop a Stingtail staff, which is a mediocre staff for the mage. And the second enemy I want to go over that's in the Whispering Dunes is the Bandits. Now these guys will deal a lot of damage. You would have seen that in the Gauntlet. These guys deal a lot of damage. They don't have too much health, but yes, again, they deal a ton of damage. The Bandits have a chance of dropping the Sand Ravaged Scimitar. These are used by warriors, and they're pretty decent, but there are better weapons, so if you happen to get it, then just go ahead and use it. And the next enemy is the Bandit Skirmisher, and these guys are also in the Gauntlet, just like the Bandits. The only difference is that these guys shoot bow and arrows, and they deal also a decent amount of damage. When these guys are bunched up together, they'll all shoot at once, and they could kill you pretty quickly, so keep an eye out on these guys. They also have a chance of dropping the Sand Ravage bow. These are pretty good bows. I honestly recommend to use this bow on an assassin. for the offhand slot, mainly because it gives you plus 10 critical chance. So yeah, these are good bows to use for assassins. And the next enemy is the Dustworm. Now the Dustworm is only located in one spot, which is the Dustworm Pit. I'll show where that is later, but this enemy drops 2 weapons. One of the weapons is the Dustworm Longbow. Now this is a really good bow for rangers. I use this bow, so yeah, it's a really good bow. And the second weapon is the Dustworm Cudgel. Now this is a pretty good weapon for a paladin. I don't use it, but it does have a pretty good ability, so it's a pretty solid weapon. And the final enemy is the Death Sting. Now the Death Sting does not even drop any weapons, they're just kind of there. Also, I recommend using this map to help you through the Whispering Dunes. This will help you find where everything is, including the Sun Shards and the journals. So yes, I do recommend using this map. So in order to start the first quest, you have to find the Lost Journal. So just follow where I go in the Whispering Dunes to find the Lost Journal. Then once you make it back, if you are at least level 35, you should be able to start the quest. Now to complete this quest, you have to find the 2 missing pages from the Lost Journal. So I'm going to be showing you where both of those pages are, and I am going to the first one right now, so just follow where I go. Also, sorry for making like quick 180s while doing this. I honestly kind of forgot where the page was, so please forgive me. And the first page is right here. Now to find the second page, just follow me from here. and the second page is located right here. So now to complete the quest, you have to find Talre's temple. So from here, just head in this direction and you will eventually run into it. Now, in order to get into the temple, you have to solve this very, very easy puzzle right here. I mean, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to solve it. All you have to do is just connect all the light beams together. Then once you do that, you should be able to get inside. And in order to get through this door right here, you have to kill this bandit. Then once you get inside, go and talk to Talre. Then he will force you to choose the correct vase. Now, choose the one I choose, or else you will die. So, make sure you're choosing the right one. So pay close attention. Once you choose the correct vase, you will then be offered a weapon, and I would choose the weapon depending on what class you are, such as if you're a warrior, choose the Vezra's Eviscerator, and if you're a mage, then choose the Astrologist Scepter, and if you're a hunter, then choose the Turtle's Talon. Then, once you choose, you will be given your weapon. Now, you probably do not have enough money to buy the armor and the hunter-occupied gauntlet, so I'm going to show you a pretty good way to earn both a decent amount of XP and a lot of money. So I would honestly grind in this area just for one level or two, that's all really. And right now I'm going to the Dustworm pits where a lot of Dustworms spawn, of course, so if you want to grind where I'm going to grind, then just go ahead and follow me. So once you arrive at the Dustworm pit, just keep killing Dustworms, and every now and then you will get weapon drops from the Dustworms, and this is how you're going to make your money, because these weapons will sell for quite a bit of money. So once you've collected enough items, you can go ahead and go back to the Hunter-occupied gauntlet and sell your items. Then you can go ahead and buy the armor. So the final area to get to level 49 is going to be the pit. And the pit is an area located below the Nilgarth sewers. And it's like a maze to get there, so just watch where I'm going to find out where the pit is. Now that you have arrived in the pit, I'm going to give you a quick guide throughout this map. So once you first jump down, you will run into your first enemy, slimes. Now slimes drop a large amount of different weapons. I'm going to list through all of them right now. The first item is exclusive to the Knight subclass. This is the Artifact Aegis. This is a shield for knights. The next item is Hobo Armor. This is the best armor in the game. It's kind of odd since it's Hobo Armor, but whatever. Yes, this is the best armor in the game. Now the next item is the anti-slime ambush device. Now this hat is so bad, I don't even feel like explaining it. And the next item is a mediocre weapon for hunters, and this weapon is the broken bottle. And the next item is a weapon for the mages called the slime staff. Now this weapon isn't too bad. Of course, I'll go over a weapon that's a lot better in a couple of minutes, but yeah, it's a pretty okay weapon for mages. And the next item is a paladin exclusive weapon called the barrel hammer. Now, I find this weapon ability very good, and honestly, it's a pretty solid weapon for paladins. I often use this weapon, and yeah, I find this weapon pretty good. And the final item is the scrap sword for warriors. Now this weapon is surprisingly good considering that it's literally made of garbage, but yeah, it's a pretty good weapon for warriors. Now the next group of enemies I'm going to go over are the pit ratties. Just follow where I go if you want to find the pit ratties. And the pit ratties are located right here. Now be careful because these things will deal a lot of damage and they also have a lot of health. And they drop two different items. The first item is a dagger for the hunters. This is the best dagger in the game. It is called the Incisor. It has a very, very good ability. Critical damage deals a lot on this weapon. And yeah, it is the best dagger in the game for hunters. The next item is the skinned ratty hat for hunters. Now this is the best hat in the game for hunters. I highly recommend using this, and yeah, that's about it. Now I'm going to be showing you the location for the last group of enemies, and those are the reanimated slimes. Just follow me. And once you get here, be sure not to step in the gigantic acid pool because it will damage you. Also, the reanimated slimes also drop two different items. The first item is a knight exclusive weapon known as the Fallen Blade. Now this is the best weapon in the game. Honestly, I don't even know if I can say that. It's one of the best weapons in the game. I can say this for sure. This is the highest damage in the game on a weapon. That is for sure. Currently, as I'm recording this before updates, and stuff, this is the highest damage on a weapon. And the next item is a helmet for warriors. This is also the best helmet for warriors in the game. And yeah, those are all the enemies in the pit. There's also one boss I'm going to go over right now. Also, real quick, both of these items have a 0.1% chance to drop from reanimated slimes. And now I'm going to show you the location of the boss located in the pit. Now this boss is known as the possum, and it spawns every hour. And the possum will spawn right here. And there's 3 different items that the possum has a chance for dropping. The first item is the Forgotten Crown, which is best to use as a paladin because they build off of intelligence. Now the next item is the Forgotten Axe. This is a weapon for paladins, and this is not only the best weapon for paladins, but it is possibly one of the best weapons in the game. And the next item is the Forgotten Staff, and again, best weapon ever for mages and one of the best weapons in the game. Now enjoy this clip of me killing the possum and getting a drop. Alright, well everyone, this was a very long video to make. I really hope you all found this helpful, and I hope everyone keeps playing, to be honest, because there is a lot of great updates that are coming. Now, anyway, that's going to be the end of the video, so see you guys in the next Vesteria video.